Hello everyone. I haven't been uploading for a few days now, so I thought I'll give you a update on the current situation with this account. It is the 2nd of December 2021 and it's just gone 4 minutes past 10 UK time. Okay, so I think it was last week or the week before, we took a couple of trades and those trades were successful. They all closed in profit and the balance ended up at £347.05. Now, because it's December, if you go into account history, it's not going to show you, you can't scroll up on the MetaTrader for some reason and you can't see those trades, but I am going to upload a previous video that I've just done, but I didn't get around to uploading it, so I'm going to upload that today hopefully, and then I will upload this one, so you know, you'll know everything from the previous video, what happened. And currently now I am in 3 trades: Euro Jpy, USD Cad and Aud Usd. Balance is currently standing, equity is currently standing at £349.94. We're in profit, so that's a good sign. And yeah, I'll just get straight to it with the first pair. So we are looking at the Euro Chef, okay, and the Euro Chef actually found resistance here, but we did not get a proper setup. And if we look on the weekly, we are at this level here. So yeah, I mean, I'm waiting for a possible setup if it looks good, and we'll carry on waiting for that to happen. Moving on to the next pair, which is Euro USD. Okay, so Euro USD, this pair has given a nice buy signal here, as you can see, and then we had 2 days of bearish candles, and now we are back here where the break happened. Now if you look on the weekly, you can see this weekly downtrend, and you can see these 2 weeks to a week, 2 weeks to a week pullback. Okay, now you see here, this is where I suspect this is a pullback, but if you look a little to the left, you can see this zone right here. So obviously the weekly trading on the weekly is very slow. I only use it as a bias. Same with the monthly as well. Now the monthly coincides with the weekly, okay, then when you look at the daily, it's the same situation here. So on the daily we can see price is currently above the SMA. Now I'm thinking that this is just a pullback, okay, getting the retail traders to trade in the opposite direction, and then eventually next couple of days it will carry on going down. That's what I'm thinking, okay. I'm not saying that it will, I'm just saying that that's what it's looking like. If it does carry on going up, then we will wait for a proper buy signal with the SMA on the right side of the price, and that would actually reflect on the weekly as well. We would see that on the weekly. So far I do not see that on the weekly, and I believe that this is a pullback, so I do not want to counter trade, and I'm going to let this trade set up so we're still waiting on this pair on the daily. Moving on to the next pair, which is the AUD chef. On the AUD chef, I don't see anything available, so we're going to move on to the next pair. AUD Jpy is the same situation. I don't see anything available here. We can see on the weekly a nice uptrend, higher highs, higher lows. We do see a higher high here, but we don't see a significant you see here where you get that run and then you get that pullback and then you get that run again. So that's quite it's a quite how can I explain it? It's a high high, okay, but there's quite a lot of difference. There's a distance between this high and that high, but you don't see it here. Even though you can class this as a higher high because it closed higher than this top, for me this is still sketchy. Okay, so this could be a beginning of a sideways movement until the market starts turning in the other direction. So currently it is a valid sell, and if we do see some sort of setup occurring around here, then a possibility I will take that sell, but so far I don't see anything, so I'm gonna leave it as it is. Moving on to the next pair, which is the Chef JPY. Okay, see this top. So yeah, we're gonna leave this. We'll come back to it when it's ready. Next pair, Aud Cad. Okay, so this is looking quite interesting now. You can see a break here of this low, close lower. We can see a rejection forming on this weekly candle, but we are aware of the low here, so price is going to have to test this low as well. So I think that's what it's doing here. If you go on to the daily, we can see what looks like a valid sell. Now Aud Usd is a sell, so we're selling the Aud on the USD, so we could sell the Aud on the CAD as well. The problem here would be, yes, so okay guys, I'm just thinking at the moment whether or not to take this opportunity. Now I'm going to go into the monthly and I'm going to see what it looks like on the monthly. You can see these two monthly candles and what looks like pullback. Then we have a very bearish close here below this low. Yeah, I mean, it is, I could take this here, but I'm not gonna, because the only thing that's stopping me here is the way the pattern is. Okay, so this sell setup here is not exactly the setup that I look for. So because of that one, because of that issue of not looking like exactly like the pattern that I'm looking for, that's thrown me off. So I'm uncertain about it and I'm not going to risk it. So that's the way I trade, and I hope a lot of you out there that are watching this control the urge of actually entering trades just because you see a setup right in front of you. You shouldn't let greed take over. So this is where I've experienced a bit of greed. You know, I'm wanting to enter because I see a trade, but because I have experience now, there's something something unsettling about this trade, and it's not sitting well with me. So I'm gonna give this a pass. Okay, we're gonna go on to the USD Jpy. So we can see this candle, very strong bearish candle. Okay, and what we're looking for now on the weekly is to see clarification in the bearish direction. So this was the previous high, and since then we have not broke above. We've actually closed very low. Now this one's looking like a rejection candle because it's been down here and it's been rejected. So on the daily we can see the rejection. So I do not think that it would be wise to actually trade in the opposite direction. So we will wait for a valid buy setup. Let's wait to see what this currency pair wants to do. I don't believe that it's going to go down. I don't see any indication of it going down on the weekly. Therefore, I'm not going to enter for a sell signal on the daily. Moving to the Euro JPY. So this trade, I actually got into this trade on the 2nd, which was today, and it got triggered at 3:41. So we're looking at 2 hours earlier than that. So 2:41. It's about what, 1:41, isn't it? I think it's 1:41 or 12:41. 2 hours before this time anyway. That's when I got triggered into this trade, and I got into this trade to sell because I saw a valid sell signal here, and I saw the price actually close below here. I've seen this movement on the weekly, and then I see this higher high, which is actually a lower high on the weekly, and then we see the weekly momentum here that's closed lower than this. So my thinking is that this price is actually going to go lower and possibly test this low here, or possibly test this high here. So somewhere around here, I think the price wants to come down and test. That's what I'm thinking. Now I could be wrong, but when I go on to the monthly, I see the same situation here as well. You can see these highs, they're lower, but we can see this nice uptrend. Okay, and then we saw this pullback, and then we saw this bearish candle, but then we saw an immediate we saw a bullish candle, then we seen this bearish candle. Now look at this bearish candle where it closed. It closed below all of this price action here, which indicates to me that most likely the price is going to come back down to this point here, possibly retest it, and then maybe carry on in that direction. So that's why I've got into a sell position on this pair. Now I could be wrong, I could be absolutely wrong, but that's what I see, and I need to trade what I see. Nice setup here, entered right here. We see today's candle, which was a bullish candle, but it did not close higher than this. It's actually closed lower than these three previous candles, okay, but it has closed not higher than this. It's in the middle here, so I still consider it to be closing lower. Now obviously today I'm gonna have to see tomorrow, which is Friday, I'm gonna have to see how this candle plays out. This could take possibly a full week to actually hit my target down here. My plan is to actually close the trade, move up the stop loss when the trade goes into profit 100 pips. So I will move the stop loss up to break even at 100 pips, and I will just let the trade do what it wants to do. If it goes down and hits my stop loss, then that's a good thing. If it comes closer and then starts turning, then I will close the trade manually. So that's my plan for this pair, and I hope it turns out like that. Now moving on to the Aud USD, this is another pair that I got triggered into on the same day, 2 hours earlier than this time here in the UK. So we had a similar setup here. We could see here a nice break of this low, and price is looking like it's going down nicely. So this is where my take profit is. Do I expect it to hit that take profit? Possibly, but I am actually looking for the 1-to-1 and then moving my stop loss up and letting the trade do what it wants to do. Now you can see this low here, and you can see the price action here, which is lower. Okay, go on to the weekly and we can see we've just closed below this level here. Okay, and then when you go on to the monthly, you can see the previous month's bearish candle, which signifies that price can and possibly will during this month go down to this low here, test it again, may break through or might shoot back up again, but that's enough space for us to actually make a profit. So yeah, I mean, I got a valid sell and I got into that sell. Could I be wrong? Absolutely, I could be wrong. It could come back and hit my stop loss, and there's nothing I can do about that. So yeah, I mean, that's the way I trade. You know, I don't feel anything. I don't have any of these negative emotions that I had when I started trading 3 years ago. Now I know the process, and I know that you know, to be successful you have to be good at losing as well. So you'll lose a lot of your trades, you'll win a lot of your trades, but overall, if you're winning more than you're losing, then you're making money. And I know that sounds probably a bit weird to a lot of you that are watching, but trust me, carry on being consistent when you're trading and you'll understand what I mean. Okay, the last 2 months that I checked on my MT4 on my phone, the last 2 months of trading have been profitable. So that's what I mean. I mean, this week might be a bad week, next week might be okay, then it might be another bad week, and then the following week might be absolutely great. So usually you should check your performance, I would suggest, every month, just to see whether you are coming out profitable every single month. And that's what you should be aiming for. Do not wait for the end of the week and then, you know, if it was a bad week, psychologically that's going to affect you, and it will affect your trading, and you'll think that you're no good at trading when, you know, this is just normal. So don't check whether you're profitable by the end of the week. You know, check your progress at the end of the month and see where you are, how much you made, how much you lost, and that will be that will actually encourage you to carry on trading, and it'll put you in a better mindset. Okay, moving on to the next pair, which is the Gbp Usd. Okay, so the Gbp Usd here, there was some sort of a sell trade. I wouldn't call it one because that's not the kind of stuff I trade. So yeah, I mean, this is looking dodgy to me. I don't know why it looks dodgy, because of these spikes, I guess, and I don't know, you just start to get a knack for these things after you've been trading for a while. Go on to the weekly and you can see the strong move up. Okay, so logically I'm thinking if it did retrace back, it's going to retrace back to this spot here. Okay, which it did do. Now if you look on the monthly, we can see this monthly zone, and then we see this close. So now we have a nice sell setup on the monthly, but we are straight, we are at this point here, a monthly support zone, resistance turned to support. So at these spots, most likely you might see reversals, you might see the price going in the opposite direction. So now we don't trade the monthly because it's, you know, it's just too long. Don't trade the weekly because it's too long. So when you come down to the daily, you're at this crucial point. What is it that you want to do? So I want to see a proper sell setup, something like this, clean and tidy, not, you know, junky like this. I don't even know if that is the right word or not, but you can see what I mean by looking at the price action here. This is something I don't want to get involved in. I wouldn't mind getting involved in this, in that, not this. So that's why we're going to leave this pair. Moving to the Cad Jpy. Okay, so we can see this move, nice, okay, in the upward direction, but then what do we see? We see this momentum, bearish close right to this point here. Okay, did not close below this low, so I'm guessing price might start turning back up. Now what do we see on the daily? On the daily we see bullish candles. Okay, we did not get a setup during this on the daily. We did get setups up here. So I'm gonna wait on this pair and see what happens. If it does look like it's resuming in the upward direction, then we will hopefully get a buy signal on the daily. So we're gonna wait this one out and see what happens next week. Moving on to the next pair, Euro AUD. Okay, so Euro AUD made this move up and then some sort of break here. This is absolutely not the kind of buy signal that I look for, and after these two candles here, very unsettling. You know, it didn't move much, as you can see. 2 days after this break, we saw the price coming all the way back down. Okay, goes all the way back up, closes like this. Some might consider this as, what is it, a hammer, a star, shooting star, stuff like that. That doesn't make any difference to me. It just shows me strength or weakness, and that shows weakness in selling power, and it shows strength in bullish power, right? It's not bearish power, it's bullish power that's caused this. And then we see this candle, which I would consider bearish power, because candle moved up and then we started getting sell orders coming in, right? The bears pushing back, and pretty much price is, how many pips? Let me just check. You're about 30 pips in, 30 to 40 pips in, okay? It just looks too risky. Just doesn't look like they have any more strength to go up. These two are very weak bearish candles in my mind. When I see candles like this, bearish candles, then it shows strength in that move. So yeah, I believe that possibly we might go back down again and possibly retest this. If we retest this and then we get a buy signal above the SMA, then possibly I will trade this as a buy. But other than that, I'm just going to leave this pair. I'm just telling you guys what I see, okay? And that's what I see, and that's how I trade. I only trade on the daily. Euro Gbp, I'm not going to touch this pair. I just don't like this pair. It just doesn't look tradable to me on the daily. Gbp Jpy, okay. We looked at a pair early on. I think it was the Cad Jpy or the Cad Chef or something like this, and it was a similar setup here. You could see this level right there, testing it, rejection coming in, and we have these lows here, okay. Don't have any sell setup here. If we do get one, then I might look at it and see if there's possibility of it moving to these lows here. So I'm just going to leave this pair, move on to the next one, Usd Cad. Okay, so this is another pair that I'm in. On the same day I entered here, as you can see, 8:49, 2 hours before that time, and I ended up buying this pair. Now, why did I buy this pair? The reason I buy this pair, if you look at the monthly, we can see the monthly candles breaking above the 10 SMA. We see this pullback, okay, and then we get this bearish. I don't know if why the heck am I getting these the wrong way around? Bullish candles, okay, guys. If you notice me calling a black candle a bearish candle, please remember that I'm actually trying to say, if you catch me saying a bullish candle when I'm pointing at a black candle, I actually mean bearish, because the candles are going down. And when I point at a white candle and by mistake I say bearish, I actually mean bullish. Okay, so I might be making a few mistakes in calling the candles bearish and bullish. Please forgive me for that, and I don't mean to confuse anyone. Okay, so I'll carry on with what I was saying. We see this white bullish candle closing above this high here. To me, this has broken this trend line, okay, and we get a close above the SMA, and we get a very, very powerful bullish candle, which signifies to me that we are seeing movement towards the upside. Now, what does it look like on the day, on the weekly? Okay, let's zoom in. Look at this weekly price action. Can you see it? Okay, it's not gonna be like what you see on these training courses, how they would use a simple step-like picture of a chart. No, real life charts do not play out like that. Trust me, they don't play out like that. And you will get something similar to this, or even worse than this, but it's still an uptrend. So we can see this low being created, and it didn't go lower than this. So that signifies to me that most likely we might be seeing movement towards the upside, and we did have the monthly chart agreeing with the weekly. Okay, whatever we see on the monthly, we can see in more detail in the weekly, and that's what we are seeing. So then I move down to the daily, and I'm looking for my buy setup, and this is where I got my buy setup. Okay, this is where I entered right there. Why I entered there? As I'm training, I'm learning that when you enter the trade, okay, you wanted to get in here, right? Price would come down and just miss it by 4 or 5 pips. Why? Because you forgot to add the spread into the actual buy price. So what I'm saying is that the price will come down usually, and just 4 pips above your price, your entry price, it will just bounce and then shoot up, leave you out. You'll be there watching the trade go up, and you're still here and it's moving without you. So I've learned this as I'm trading. So I ended up adding the extra 4 pips, and this time it did come right back down to the top here, picked me up, and now I am 16 pips in profit. Obviously it's way it's too far away from my take profit. I have an 81 pip stop loss. Okay, so 81 pip stop loss on a daily time frame might seem a lot, but it isn't if you adjust your lot size. So now I've times that by 2, and I've placed my take profit right here. Now, do I expect it to hit? It does have potential to hit that place. Okay, it does have potential, because if you look where the weekly where the take profit is on the weekly, you'll see it's here. It's at this point where I believe that the market is really interested in. It comes back to that place many times in the past. Okay, so now I think it is coming back to retest this, possibly to break and carry on going up. So let's see what happens. I'm actually trading in the right direction. That's what I believe, and I believe it's going to carry on going up. When it does get to that 80-ish mark, okay, I'm going to bring up my stop loss, and I'm going to secure some profit and let the trade do what it wants to do. So that's my plan. It might work out, it might not. So we'll wait and see what happens. Possibly tomorrow, it might shoot up, or maybe sometime next week we might end up closing these trades in profit. Who knows? We're gonna have to wait and see. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the next pair, which is Aud Nzv. I think I've been talking too much on this video, but these things come to my head as I'm going through these charts, and I like talking and walking myself through it, and reaffirming and confirming, which actually helps. Yeah, this pair, I'm not going to be touching this pair. Okay, let's just click forward. There you go, Cad chef. So right, okay, so you see this low. This is the actual low point, I believe, because price has closed right there. So now you get this bearish candle, and now we're getting this candle here. So on the monthly, we are at this monthly zone right there. What is price going to do here? I have not got the slightest idea in what the price is going to do here. Okay, it has dropped, as you can see, and then we did see this, and then we saw a break somewhat. Price has come back up. Tag anyone in who's got in here for a sell, and they would now be in profit. But if you look at the price, the distance between the SMA and here, there is potential of this coming back up and taking people out before it shoots back down again. So do I think it's going to go down? Possibly. Is it going to go up? I don't know. I'm just going to have to wait and see. I am not going to trade this pair. I just, just doesn't sit right with me, so I'm not going to trade it. It seems risky. I'm going to leave it alone. Moving on to the next pair, Euro Cad. Now, we were actually looking at another pair just 5-10 minutes ago, and if you remember, similar setup like this. We had this big massive candle, we had a buy signal, and then we had virtually no movement, as you can see, for 2 days. Okay, 2 days no movement here. So now you're wondering why. So you go onto the weekly and you see, okay, so we're actually in a down move. So this was a pullback. So if this was a pullback, then most likely price is going to break back down again. It's going to start going down. And we can see this confirmation on the monthly. Okay, so this zone here, as you can see, this zone here, price has gone in an upward direction after touching this zone. You can see it pulling back, going back up, pulling back, going back up, and it's done that quite a lot of times. This time, what is it going to do? I'm not sure, because you see this high is lower than this high, so there is a possibility that price we're going to see moving down now. Well, I don't know, that's I'm just speculating. It's just all what can I say, theory, if you want to use that word. Nothing is set in stone. It's just, I'm just thinking, you're just throwing out ideas, and you don't know actually which way it's going to go until they actually show you. So I don't get any indication here of rejection. There's no sense of direction here. You can see it's moving sideways. Okay, we do get this break above the SMA, so could this be a possible move to the upside? Who knows? Could be just coming up to this and then rolling over again and going back down. So yeah, I'm not gonna do anything on this pair. I don't think it's safe at the moment, so I'm gonna leave it, and we're gonna move on to the Euro NZD. So yeah, I mean, Euro NZD, you can see this here. See the sideways movement, then drops back down, comes back up to test this that it broke out from, and let's see what happens. I mean, if we do get it to close lower on the daily and it gives a nice sell signal and it's happening below the SMA, then we'll enter a sell. Gbp Aud. Okay, so this is looking quite good. As we can see, it has broken this high, and okay, so now we are looking at the weekly to see what the potential is. Now, as we can see here, moving up, comes down, retraces down to this point here, retests it, rejects, going back up. So this is looking good. look on the monthly. Yes, so this pair we could actually get in for a buy, but check this out. Wow, can you see the difference of pips? I mean, this is expensive, dude. Look, okay, nope. It's actually 123 pips. So looking, wow, so that's gonna be how much is that gonna be? Just give me a second, guys. Let me take a look at this. We're talking, wow, that is significant amount of money. That's £12 3 pence. If you get hit, that is £12 3 pence, guys. Wow. Yeah, I mean, what am I gonna do? What would be best? Well, there is one thing that is stopping me, and that is actually my pattern that I'm looking for. Now let me explain to you guys. You see this pattern here, this is more of the pattern that I look for. This is a wider pattern, which seems more riskier to me, so that will actually stop me from entering the trade. I will not enter the trade when it's like this. So yeah, we're gonna leave this one. I do have this feeling that the price is gonna go up, but I just cannot enter with the pattern being so wide and the stop loss being heavy like this. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a pass, guys. Anyone who is trading a live account, who's seeing this on the daily and feels like entering, you know, feel free to do so at your own risk. I am not telling anyone to trade, and I am just documenting my personal journey, so that you guys can see whether I fail or succeed, and for me it's a journey to see whether I can grow a £300 account to a large amount of money by the end of next year. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave it and I'm gonna move on to the next pair, Gbp Cad. We can see a similar setup occurring here at this zone. Okay, and on the weekly we can see sideways movement. Same on the monthly. We're gonna leave that pair. Chef, nothing there. Okay, Gbp Nzv, this is interesting. As you can see, these massive sells, you know, people, the rejection, people are selling. Okay, people are coming into the market here. You're getting a lot of sell orders coming in. So what is this indicating? Okay, you look at these closes not above this high here. Absolutely, I don't know which way this is gonna go. On the weekly, does give you a sign because of this close above the SMA, but still this is not enough. So okay, and you can see the SMA between, so we do not have a direction, a clear direction at the moment. Yeah, I'm gonna just leave this pair, guys. It's not smooth. It's not smooth. If it was smooth, we'd be looking at similar price action like this here. Okay, or we'd be looking at price action like this, not like that. So that's what we're getting here. as you can see. So we're going to move on to the next pair, and I don't see anything here as well. Nothing available. Usd Cad, nothing available as well. So the only possibility of a trade on a GBP pair, I would say this, okay, but if you're willing to bet a £12 stop loss, you know, which I am not, so I'm just going to leave that pair alone. And 3 trades, I think, with the balance that I'm currently running is, you know, big enough. 0.01 lot size, 3 trades, that's, you know, that's okay. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next update. Good night, and see you guys on the next one.